Hey Dr. Yona, this is my video for my final exam. I'm Nathan Nisley. I am doing problems 1 and 2, and alright, here we go. Come right here. So, you see good? So start out, you're given quantity, total fixed cost, and total variable cost. And for total cost, you have to add total fixed cost and total variable cost. So for number 1, it would be 330, and then 360, 380, 390, 410, 440, 480, 530, 590, and 660. Good to you. And then for marginal cost, you're basically doing the difference of the two. You start at the bottom, and then you do the difference of the two. So for the bottom two, it would be 70. So you put 70 here, and then work your way up. And the top one wouldn't, it'd be 0, because you couldn't really get anything out of that. So as you go up, so you do 590, 660, 70, and then 530, 590, 60, and so on. So I'll go ahead and do that real quick. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 20, and 30. Cool. So for average total cost, you do total cost divided by quantity. So you would come here, total cost, number 1, so you do 330 divided by 1, and then just work your way down. So I'll go do that real quick. 330, that'll be 180, that'll be 126.6, that'll be 97.5, the 82, 73.3, 68.6, 66.3, 65.5, and 66. Okay. For average variable cost, what you do is you do total variable cost over quantity. So you would come here to total variable cost and then divide it by the quantity, same like you did average total cost, except with TDC. So I'll go do that real quick. 80, then 55, then 43.3, then 35, then 32, 31.6, 32.8, 35, 37.7, and 41. MR is a marginal revenue, and it's also a marginal price. So you do the same thing you did for marginal cost, which find the difference of the two, except actually scratch that, I'm sorry. Marginal revenue is actually price. Just remember that. So it would be 100 for the whole way down. So do that real quick. 100, 100, 100, 100. Okay, which I kind of was right, but it would be for total revenue. But for total revenue, wait a minute. Okay, and then for total revenue, it is price times quantity. So you find the price, which is 100, and then quantity times the numbers over here. That's quantity. So as you get down, it would be 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, and 1,000. And then for profit, you do total revenue minus total revenue minus total cost. So that start out, it's be negative. So it's negative 230, negative 160, minus 80, 10, 90, 160, 220, 270, 310, and 340. Okay. So for the graph, hold it quick.
Okay.
Okay, and then for part B of problem 1, it says what is the relationship between marginal cost, the average variable cost, and average total curves, or average total cost curve. To save time, I already did the graph. It took a long time, but I'm already over 5 minutes, about 6, something like that. So I'll just talk my way through it. So this here is the marginal cost curve. So on the y-axis is price, and then on the x-axis it is output. And then you pretty much for the price, you go in with the numbers. So marginal cost would be 30, and then 1 for the first one, or for the second one actually. So you would do for 2, you go quantity 2, and then go up to 30, and then you do the same thing on down the line in the graph. So I did that and plotted it and connected my line and marked it as marginal cost. I did the same thing with average total cost, average variable cost. Number 1 for average total cost is 330 for price, and quantity was 1. So you see there, wait a minute, yeah. For average total cost, it was way up here off the graph, so I had to kind of start at number 3 just so I can get on the graph. And you can see there it goes down and back up, and it doesn't. Both ATC and ABC doesn't go back up until it hits the marginal cost curve. It doesn't really do that on my graph. I'm not a very good drawer. I wasn't super accurate, but I do know that once it hits the marginal cost curve, it goes back up. And then I plotted the same thing for ABC, where the price hits marginal cost is where Q star is, and that's kind of like the what do you call it, the optimal price, or the optimal output, and it's also off the graph. So there's that. You get a good picture of that, and there's everything all together. Okay. For problem 2, I know I'm already very long in the video, so I do apologize for that. Okay, so for number 2, I'll also rewrite this one too, just to save time. Yes, fill in the figures for marginal utility and marginal utility per price for movies and books. Numbers of books and total utility was already given. I had to fill in marginal utility and marginal utility price for both of them. To find marginal utility, you pretty much do the same thing with what I've been doing in the other problem. You find the difference of the two. So the top one you can't really get a reading on because there's nothing above it. And then for number 2, you find the difference between 10 and 20. So the difference between 10 and then 3, and then 23 and 25, 2, 1, and 0, and so on. And same thing for over here, 10, 5, 3, 2, 1, 0. And for marginal utility price, you pretty much just divide marginal utility for that number, and then the price, which is for books, it is $10 a book, and $15 a movie, and you write that out in the boxes. And then next, these preferences consistent with the law of marginal utility. They are, because the law of marginal utility basically says the more you get of a product, like the more you have of a product, the less you basically want it. So your marginal utility is going to go down and down the more you consume of that product. So of course, on the very top end of the chart, it will be higher than it is at the very bottom end. So it is going down slowly. That's kind of playing out right here, but it is going down for both of them. Both of them are consistent with the law of marginal utility. For C, draw the budget constraint with books on the horizontal axis. Did that here. I'm pretty sure it's right. I've tried my best to correct myself the best as I can. But the maximum amount of movies you can have is 3, because all you have is $50 according to the problem. And the maximum amount of books is 5, because 5 times 10 is 50, and then for movies, 3 times 5 is, the 3 times 15 is what, 45, I believe. And the optimal combination of books and movies. What you do for there is you start with you look at the marginal utility per price for both of them, and then whichever one's higher, what I do is cross it out and then move on to the next, see which one's higher. So I did 1, and then after that one the higher, so I do 6.6, and then 0.3, and then 0.33, and then after that you're out of money. You're right at $50, so you only have enough money for 2 books and 2 movies. The optimal combination for the 2 is 2 books and 2 movies. And I believe that is it. Alright, man. Thank you, man. I enjoyed my semester. Thank you.